Okay, so this is for Aries, first week of June. I have already shuffled these, but let's do it again. And one more time. Okay, all right. Okay. So the way it looks, the beginning of the week, is that there is a possibility of an offer or news that you were not expecting. It probably came out of the blue. Um, it might at first be something that might sound unpleasant, but as you will see as the days progress, you will start to understand why this is happening. So it is probably related to something to do with your finances that initially it might be difficult to deal with. You might be feeling like, why is this happening now on top of everything that's going on in the world, right? Um, it might be that you need to move out of your apartment. It might be that your roommate is not coming back, and you need to find a new roommate or move out. So the initial news may sound negative, but with time, you will understand why that is happening. Um, you will also understand that this is nothing to do with you or anybody. It's no one's fault. You just basically have to accept the responsibility of what is happening and decide to take action. So, what are you going to do to shift that energy? If it has to do with anything financial, is there anything that you can do today to change that? Can you? I know that at this moment, there are so many people that are unemployed and it's hard to get a new job or change careers and so on. But sit down and ask yourself, what is it that I could do? How can I change the situation, look at the situation from a different perspective, and grow from the situation instead of sitting down and blaming everybody, blaming yourself, especially, which is the worst thing you can do. Um, Take your mind out of that feeling, sit down, write it on paper. What is it that I can do today to change my current situation? If it has to do with relationships, now is not a time to argue. It is not a time to be defensive. It is a time to be quiet, take advantage of this moment of isolation that we're still under, and be introspective, be with yourself. Perhaps a good idea also is to give up any vices. So I know a lot of people during this time are going through a very difficult time emotionally, and are taking up on vices like drinking or overeating, which is understandable. We have to understand that side of ourselves and really take care of ourselves, not be angry with ourselves for looking at the outside for comfort. It's okay, but it's also okay to cry a little bit, let it all out, and then take responsibility. Get up in the morning, wash your face, look at yourself in the mirror, and really ask, what is it that I can do today to change this? If it is something that you cannot change, like COVID-19, you cannot change. But what can you do today in your life that you can change for a better outcome, for something else that you want. So it's really a time to understand that the power is in your hands. Like there is no other way around it. And it's really that moment of being very, very disciplined, and to always remember it's not going to be easy, but it is going to be worth it. And it will be a transitional month. I think that you have to accept the responsibility of what is happening in your life, um, and don't blame anybody or anything. And remember, what is a fact is unchangeable, but everything else are circumstances that you can shift your mindset, and you're going to be able to shift all of that and move towards a better path. It's really a moment of a lot of karmic energy. So it's really good for you to be quiet if you have been um, agitated or anxious, as everybody, right? I mean, it's also especially what's going on with George Floyd protests and so on. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy being released from being in isolation, and that is totally understandable. But and we're all feeling that. But my advice and the card's advice here is to really um, don't focus so much on that reaction, but focus on what you can do. What are other possible ways of dealing with it? If you have the opportunity to consult with someone and talk about these things, I think it's a great idea. If you have a dog, it's the best company. I talk to my dog every single day about my life, and it's great. Great listener. So I would suggest take that time, be introspective, avoid any type of confrontation, um, avoid overindulging on things that will later on make the situation even worse. Um, if you procrastinate today, it's a day less in your success, right? You're delaying your success. That's all procrastination is. So just remember to take responsibility for what is happening, even if it's not your fault. Even, if someone did something to you or said something to you that made you really upset, it is your mindset that's going to dictate what's coming next. So I feel this week, this first part of the month, it's a moment to think of all these things. Get up in the morning, wash your face, look at yourself in the mirror, and really be accountable for your life. And think of the things you can do to progress. And by shifting that mindset, the outcome will shift. So just be aware of how you react with other people, how you react to situations. And I would advise you to perhaps listen more than speak, just so you are more introspective and look at your life through a different set of eyes, from a different perspective. And I think that's how we'll end. Thank you so much for listening. I hope it resonates, and if it doesn't, please let me know. If it does or if it doesn't, I really appreciate you watching my channel. This is my first video, and let me know how you like it. Thank you so much.